Welcome to Wildcat. This video is part of a series introducing standard features of applications built using Wildcat, and this video focuses on using lists. The standard Wildcat list feature contains a toolbar with the tools most commonly used for editing records. Starting at the left, to add a new record, click the green plus sign. Once you've added your details, you can save or press OK, which saves and returns you to the list. If you decide you don't want to keep those changes, press Cancel to return to the list. If you have a record selected, then you can go to the edit view by zooming into the record. This takes you to the details of that person. Again, if you've made changes, you can press Save or OK, which will save and return you to the list. Cancel to return to the list without making any changes. I can also access the details of that row by double-clicking on the row. Accessing a record in this way is called zooming, because in Wildcat you can zoom into multiple levels of a more complex data structure. If your application allows it, then you may be able to edit inline or directly in the list. To cancel from editing, just move on to another row or press the deselect button. You can delete a row by selecting the row and pressing delete. You will receive a confirmation. We've already covered the clear filter criteria and the refresh list. Now let's move on to exporting data. In Wildcat, you can export data from any list by clicking on the Export Table Data button. This brings up an export wizard. The key areas of the wizard are the report format, page formatting, margins, and then the column selector. Data can be exported in a range of standard formats. Probably the most common are PDF and CSV. The CSV format is effectively raw data, which is useful if you want to do further calculations or use the data for another application. If you choose CSV, your browser will control what program opens the file when you receive it, and that will usually be in your normal spreadsheet application. So for example, to export just the last name, first name and email columns to a CSV format, I press Generate. Wildcat will generate the file, your browser will receive it, and then you can open it to view the raw data. In this case, my file's opened up in Microsoft Excel. You can also export directly to Excel, however this will give you a formatted Excel file and may not be what you're intending. To change which columns are selected in the export, just drag and drop. You can also change widths if you're producing a formatted report. To exit from the wizard, just click on the Close button. When working with data in applications, it's common that you might notice something about a record that you want to be reminded of later, or want to alert others to in an informal way. Wildcat provides a generic mechanism for this in all lists called flag. To flag a record, click in the flag column next to the record. The flag box will open and you can type the information in here that you want to be flagged with the record. For example, I might flag a reminder to myself that this person needs to be contacted in connection with a particular inquiry. Press the flag button and you can see that the flag is now in the list. Hovering over the flag, you can read the message. To clear the flag, click again and press Clear. If you've recorded flags against records, as I have here, Flags can be filtered just like any other field. So if I wanted to filter for the flag column, then I can see all the records where the flag matches that criteria. If I want to remove that flag, just click again and press Clear. Clear my filter and I'm returned back to the list. Another feature that's quite useful in all Wildcat lists is the summary line. The summary line allows you to do a number of summary functions on the data that's in the list. For example, to count how many records there are in the list. Notice that there are 601 last names, but only 600 emails, which means that one record has no email address. And now for some other examples. Let's turn on the birth date column. And now in my summary line, I might want to find the minimum birth date or the maximum. Wildcat knows the type of the data that's in each column, and so it knows how to apply the summary functions to each type of column. The summary count is very useful when doing complex filtering to find out quickly how many results there were for that filter. Of course, there is a small performance hit for having to do the summary functions, so for the best performance results, you can turn the summary functions back off again when they're no longer required. That concludes part 3 of this series of the standard list features in Wildcat applications. The next video, part 4, is the final video in this series.